Hi, how are you guys doing? Hello. I'm trying to figure out how to stream this live. It keeps telling me I don't have permission to do that. It's so annoying. Um, anyway, we'll just jump into some songs. Nice seeing your faces again, 2 times in a row. Um, Jennifer, were you there this morning? I didn't see your face, but there were so many people on all the pages. I only saw the first page. Yeah, you were there. Awesome. Cool. Um, let's dive into some songs. Let me see what I have here for anybody that I have. Michael, let's start with your song.
She's got a black and white photograph, summer 2005. She liked to never got the picture 'cause the sun was in his eyes. Once she tore it up and taped it up all in the very same day. Well, she even burnt the edges 'cause she thought it looked better that way. This piece of paper's turned to treasure. Its worth to her cannot be measured. Besides the memories in her mind, all he left behind was his picture. His picture. He was the cutest thing she'd ever seen. Of her play for the little boy who looks into his picture.
Cool. Nice. Tell us about it. Michael, can you tell us a little something about it?
Well, without getting emotional, my wife wrote it, and she's been sick. I've been the caregiver. She passed away last month, and
Oh,
so I wanted to, in tribute to her, have it produced.
oh,
Hired Nashville musicians to kind of play on it. That's her singing,
it's gorgeous.
but yeah. So that's it's like a throwback to like what 80s or 90s country, but yeah, it's more about a in her honor. But we prior to her passing, we did get a few songs signed, um, other songs, not that one. But sorry, my dogs are barking. But yeah, so
Well,
about it on that one. I don't know if it's placeable or not. Maybe some old show or something or a throwback to that era might be usable, but don't know.
yeah, I mean, I think you can, it's just like, it's kind of like back catalog. It's not going to be something that's used all the time, but if you, once you start creating these or, continue relationships with agencies,
Mhm.
you could send this to somebody, when you've got that relationship with different people, you can tell them the story behind it too, which is helps somebody become invested in something. So when there is that opportunity, it comes to top of mind because it's not something that's going to be pitched all the time, but it
Right.
is something that I'm sure somebody knowing the story would like to have, like, be a part of honoring her through that. So I would share that. I felt like there was like one or two little pitchy spots I might also just like listen to, see if you might tweak those just so that your chance of getting the sync is a little higher.
Okay.
Um, there were just like maybe 2 spots I heard, but other than that, I think, just sharing the story. People are people. People want to connect. makes you just like, want to do something with the song
Okay.
in the best way, like in the way that like, we're all on this planet, in this world together, and we all want to honor each other.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Thank you.
great. Love it. Let's see, who else do I have here? That's on this call. Jennifer, are you Musumba? Jennifer Musumba? Yeah. All right. Let's
Yeah.
do this. Great. Let's do it. Oops. Let me hold on a second here. The issue with sharing screens, like, let me not share my entire thing I'm doing.
You still dot your I's with little hearts. You sign your name with a smiley face. I would love to be like you. You caught my eye with your charms. You shine with grace in this gray old space. Everything to you is new. And ooh, you do what you want to. Everybody loves you. You don't even have to try. And ooh, I want to be your best friend. A message thread that always ends with a smile and a laugh and little hearts. Little hearts in colors of the rainbow. We'll paint the world we make and leave our troubles in the dark. We'll close our eyes and be surprised by the liberties we take. And ooh, you do what you want to. Everybody loves you. You don't even have to try. And ooh, I want to be your best friend. A message thread that always ends with a smile and a laugh and little hearts. Little hearts. And candy love with sentiments. You're perfect as you are. You're going far. I see it now. You're on your way to take the stage and thank them with a message thread that always.
Cute. So much there. So I see that's a work in progress, right? Okay, so my initial thoughts are I love the little hearts. Little hearts, like it's just so sweet. It's so cute. I think you could really go in with like the quirky indie film vibe, like really lean into that. And in the delivery, like not too saccharine, just very like matter of fact and quirky. Keep it, straight in the delivery. I think you're ooh, da, 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 da. I think you could take one of those sections out. I don't know if that's their pre or if that's your verse, but getting to the chorus, it repeats twice. I think you can at least getting to that first hook. Take one of those out to get there a little sooner. I don't think you need both. Maybe you put it back in, take both, second time around, but just get to that little hearts. That's just like I could see that working for a film so well. The little hearts, it feels so indie and cute, and like it tugs at your heartstrings without feeling like overly sentimental. So I would try to look for some references that are quirky and indie and see how you might want to produce this so that you're not just going dunk, 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 dunk through the whole thing, but there's some like shifting going on and some playfulness and some quirkiness going on that really helps support that. And I would lean into the line little hearts even more. Like you might have a section that just really kind of opens up around little hearts or breaks down around little hearts, but something that really gives it some space to like not leave them wanting more. Like every time that comes in and then you change to something else, I'm like, I want more, which is cool, but then give it to us at some point so that it's just like this really fun little space. I love it. Great
So,
job.
so on the little, by opening up the little hearts, do you mean like leaving room with just music, or just expanding on the little hearts chorus itself?
Yeah, it's expand on it, like maybe do a post chorus or
Okay.
area where you just do the little hearts and maybe there's another little word or phrase that happens,
Yeah.
but you really, it's not just 2 lines. And then the
Right.
editor's like, how do I copy and paste this to be, you know, like 2 bars or something? Like give them some more bars of that.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Yeah.
that so much. Okay.
Ashley's saying, look, check out Lenka, which is that's a really good
Lenka?
reference.
Okay. All right, definitely. Thank
Cool.
you.
Great job. Yeah,
Thank you.
great writing. All right, let's see who else I have here. Kevin.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, there's a few songs here. Let me see. Which one did you submit? Get Out. Okay, got it. Cool.
Gotta get out, gotta get out, gotta get out, gotta get out. I'm not sure what I'm feeling, but I have to escape. Lots of things to process as I feel in my plate. I find I'm disconnecting cause I don't wanna know. See this car is crashing and I just wanna go. So I gotta get out, 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 I gotta get out. Now my heart is racing, but I still don't know why. Gotta get out. I gotta get out, I gotta get out. I gotta get out, I gotta get out.
Cool. Let me see what you said about it. Mixed and mastered. All right, cool. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it was at the end of a relationship where my ex and I
Okay, enough
were
said. No, just kidding.
in a house. Yeah, we were in a small space, and it's like, I just have to leave this space. It's not good or healthy. So
I didn't get that. That makes so much sense. We can all relate to that. Cool. Yeah, I think you've got a lot of pieces that are working, and I just kind of want a little bit more. Like it starts right away, and then like it's kind of got this like haunting sort of play on thing, like satiristic sort of thing. And I kind of want it to be like all in on something. Then it feels like it could go a little bit more in one direction. So it starts out kind of like right in your face, but you're not sure what's happening. So I either would like go bigger or like lead into that intro so that you feel like you like get people hooked, like get them invested in what you're saying. But sometimes when you come in like too big and it doesn't, and they can't wrap their head around it in like the first couple of notes or bars, and they're like kind of confused, and you have to bring them back on board. So you kind of never want to lose them. And from that get-go, it's not super clear to me what this is, what like genre, what vibe, like where we're going. And so I personally would want a little bit more like all in on something. Like what's if you had some references that you wanted to reference, like how can you make this bigger? How can you make it, or you know, and also like drop out so that it's less. And then your verses are very like feel very like boxed in, and I would like play with your phrasing a little bit on top of that. I think Gotta Get Out is such a cool lyrical line, and your vibe is cool here. Like I can kind of see this working in a film, but it's got to carry the picture. And right now it feels like there's some drops that are happening energy wise, and also just like genre wise, it kind of starts getting confusing because it's not like you're convicted 100%. It's kind of like you're also busy packing right now, but you also have,
I see.
so like I want all of like I want you super convicted in what you're like, you're all in on it too. And so I don't know if that's like specific enough for you, but I feel like if you listen to some references or like, oh, I was kind of going for this and this, like it might help kind of open up your ears to where you might be able to kind of step forward a little bit more.
Yeah, no, that's super helpful. Thank you.
Oh, good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, and I love the story behind it too. We all need that song at some point in our lives.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good one.
It was
And
very
we need the
therapeutic to
soundtrack
write.
for that. Yeah, 1000%. Now we know. Okay, let me just mark that How are you guys doing? How is everybody doing here? We have our little like intimate hello group here. Hi. Okay, let me see who else I got. Okay. I know it. Jeff. Got one from you. I have one from Mariana. Oh, sorry, you playing.
A million miles from home, a different world from what I've known, with no snowfalls and song, alone in silence I long. So like a star, put a presence beneath the tree. I might be far, but you're always with me. I'll be coming home next Christmas. You'll be in my arms again. I'll be coming home next Christmas. This year, pray that time moves fast. Memories flood me this time of year, hoping you won't last. I'll be coming home. A different world from what I've known, with no snowfalls and song, alone.
Cool. You want to tell us a little bit about it? Great job. Love it. I love the video with it too. Can't hear you. Want to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you. I appreciate your comments and taking the time to check it out. The initial idea was the song was supposed to be kind of like a letter from a soldier away from home at the holidays,
Oh,
kind of between him and his wife or his loved one. And so that's why you got the male vocal kind of from his point of view, and then the female vocal from her point of view. That's kind of it in a nutshell. And then it was kind of weird because, the idea was, a lot of times the military can't be home for the holidays. So it's, I'm coming home next Christmas. I'll be coming home next Christmas. I'll be there,
Aw.
next. So it's kind of sad, but also hopeful. And then it just made sense with the video to use footage of, military personnel surprising their family.
Yeah, no, it definitely tugs at the heartstrings with the song. I think your chorus is super strong. One thing that kind of struck me is like there wasn't a lot of like Christmas holiday implications, in terms of like a
Okay.
bell, or not that you need to go back and change this, but just in general
Right.
and like if they're going to be moving around, kind of want to know if it's a Christmas song and have that holiday feel for licensing. And then they can always take some of that out or take it out completely, and then it's not necessarily a Christmas song or a holiday song, but having a little bit more of that, I think, would just in general moving forward as you continue to. And then in terms of like, it looks like this was from 2020, maybe it released, that this looks like it would help support kind of the like documentary style sort of thing, or just like this, like these kind of montages of storylines, especially that chorus part. So I would look at like opportunities for that, or where can you put it where somebody might find it and be able to use it, or send this video to agencies who might work on the like docu-series sort of things, or documentaries, or a little sort of vibe, because I think that they would be able to draw the line together on how they might be able to pitch it for opportunities, because you've put this together for them.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
thank
put the
you.
jingle in the intro. Nice, Cinder. Yeah, just like give
Okay.
us a little bit of a hint that like, hey, this is a holiday song. And then
Right.
it really like brings us into the season.
Okay, that makes sense. We did it in the choruses. Later on, you can hear it all. So my idea was, the slow build, but it makes sense to what you're
Just a
saying makes
little bit,
complete
yeah.
sense. Because I've always felt that there was something kind of missing from that very beginning, and I just couldn't put my finger on what it was. So I appreciate your advice. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. All right, let's see. So fun, all these new faces in here. Are you guys all in base camp with us? Yeah? Well, yes, Michael, I know you joined us because we found you and we were like, get your butt in base camp. Here you are. Kevin just started today. Awesome. Ashley, come on over. Join us. We had our first call of the month today. I'll put the link here. You could just go to 2Indie.com. You'll find it. Link.
Okay.
Click on licensing Basecamp, and it's 30 days for free. So you can join us for this whole month. We have some really amazing opportunities this month in terms of assignments and how to get your songs listened by some agencies, and some real submission opportunities that are active right now. So please join us over there. 2indie.com will show you like all the stuff, but you'll find the Basecamp information there. I'm sorry you're not feeling good. That's the worst. But you're here and you've got cool music, so that's good. Let's see. I'm just looking here for people.
Hey, Sonnet, I just want to interrupt you for 1 second. If you're
Of course.
new to sync, or you need a little bit of extra help, get over there to 2indie.com. The boot camp is still up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a free, you can listen to a free 1 hour training. And
Oh yeah, if you want some free training, for sure.
it's awesome.
Intensive. Yeah. Start there. Listen to that while you're in bed, and then join us in the Basecamp for a live experience. And it's all free. Basecamp is free for 30 days, but then it's only $29 after that. Thanks, Cinder. Let's see. I have Mariana. Muévelo. It's asking me if I want translation. No, thanks, Google.
Take it to the roof. Let's go. One foot and then the other. Not easy, but I got my wings to feel alright. Check me out, a butterfly. I gotta get up and go. I'm the star of the show. My flow, my jam, coming at you like bam, bam, bam. Everybody move, everybody groove. Take it to the roof. Let's go. Everybody move, everybody groove. Take it to the roof. I gotta get up and go. The start of the show. Move, everybody groove. Take it to the roof. Woo! Let's go. Everybody move. Everybody groove. Take it to the roof. Woo! Let's go. I knew it, now I know it. My crime.
This is so fun. I love it.
Hi,
So-
darling.
Hi.
Thank you.
Um,
I
is this
know
in-
you couldn't find it. You couldn't find the bridge. It was
No, I was
I'm
actually
so
looking for
sorry.
something else. No, it's okay. I was looking for something else, but so you have this, you're in like mix one with this, right?
Well, it was mix one, but I mean, I got delivered the last mix. That's the one I updated right there. The last mix
Mhm.
is right now. That's the last mix, the one that you're hearing. And I just set attention to the bridge because after let's go, 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 go comes all this part that there's a body on the roof. Da, do, da,
Oh.
do, da, do, da, 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 da.
Let's go listen to it. Hold on. I want to see if it's
Mhm.
going to answer something I have a question about.
Yeah.
Let's go, 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 go. There's a party on the roof. Show me that you got it too. Fire up, nothing to prove. Da, 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 da. We got a sign. A party on the roof. 3, 2, 1, get up and groove. 'Cause I'm quiz, it's time to move. Where along, let's go. Everybody move. And everybody move. Take it to the roof. Where along, let's
Okay, cool. Good.
Okay, that's what I
Uh,
wanted you to hear.
okay,
We added
good.
that, and we added the guitars. And I know that you mentioned more Spanish. However, I am working on a version another version that has more Spanish.
Yeah, actually, I don't. This is okay. I like it. I like that it's just so here's the two things that strike me about it. When I'm listening to like the double form chorus, I want to hear the second half, even in the first chorus, something like even more happen, like level, like I'm waiting for it to be like, here we are kind of in the same space, but like, let's go a little bit more. So even when you get to the end, it's even more and more. So I'm kind of missing like this, like a push halfway through that double chorus, because you start with a double chorus. Also your muévelo is high, and it's like, I would love to hear, you probably have a lower one in there. I
do.
heard it just now at the end, but maybe you could pull that lower vocal up a little bit, because it's almost hard to hear what you're saying. And I feel like it's such a fun word, and it's something that in an ad we'd want to like, the brand would want to kind of get behind and have that be, so if it's up too
Perfect.
high, we're skipping over the fact that there's even Spanish in the song. So I'd love to hear the lower vocal a little bit more in that, so that it's a little bit more audible what you're saying. And those are the two things that really strike me, is just like leveling it up a little bit more halfway through each of those, especially the first one. We can get more into the details of it, but I feel like that's my initial thoughts on that.
Thank you so much, Sonnet.
But it's
I appreciate
so
it.
fun. It's so fun. I like the ratio of English to Spanish here. I think that's fine, especially like, for a Target ad,
I
because that's what we're
appreciate you
shooting
very
for,
much.
right? Let's go Target.
Yes, we are. We are. Love you. Thank you so
I-
much.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's great. It's super fun. Vicky, I see you on here. Oop.
distant shadow. Can't see your face. Feel you out there between time and space. The days go by, I wait and I wait. There is no escape. Fate is the hunter, following you. I feel you closer with every full moon. Fate is the hunter, following you. There'll be no trouble. A simple fate is the hunter, following you. I feel you closer with every full moon. Fate is the hunter, following you. Fate is the hunter, following you.
Oof, I love those lyrics so much. Let me see what you said about this. Mixed and mastered, but can make adjustments to the mix. I kind of put my finger on it. I feel like this is gorgeous. Fate is the hunter. Like, it's kind of like track stop, like stops you in your tracks, something like a line like that. And so I want it to hit me like that when it it's like when I have that lyric, I'm like, whoa, like I just want to take that in for a second. So I feel like the mix there, the guitars are a little bit up. Yeah, the lyrics would be nice to have the guitars, I think, in general, and then you have, I don't know if that's an electric guitar that kind of keeps getting hit and it goes ding 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 ding. It feels a little bit distracting to me. Like I like it as terms of like a color that helps fill in the song, but it's got its own kind of like rhythmic experience that kind of takes me out of listening to the vocal. It's kind of sitting in the same space. So I would try to play around with maybe moving that around and then setting it up so that this I'm trying to think like in mix wise how to give feedback on it, because I just want I feel like the chorus has more impact in it, potential that isn't being met yet. So I'm trying to figure out how to get there. The guitars are distracting. And it's like I want to sit with that line a little bit longer that you have. And then you move on so fast. And then we're in verse 2. And before I have really had a chance to like let that wash over the listener. So I don't know if maybe there's an edit point that happens after that chorus that really helps you like take a swallow and listen and like get into the body of what's experienced. So you might look at that because I feel like it kind of just went right into the next thing. If you're looking at production, it might be like also kind of putting in another level there that really helps sit that. But I think just looking at the guitars will be helpful so that that verse feels like it's sitting maybe a little, like it doesn't take up so much space that when that chorus comes, it's a little bit more impactful and they're not sitting in that same space in the mix, like in terms of like busyness, that it didn't feel like it just like soared, and where I kind of want to feel a little bit more of a washover. I feel like I want to sit with this song for a little bit. Like if I had the lyrics, like I went back, like it's a gorgeous song, and I think maybe just start there, and I'm happy to listen to it again if you want to DM me.
So just so that I'm clear, this is an older song that I actually it just so happened that I couldn't get the original singer to sign off on a work for hire. This was like right as I was getting into sync. So it was just becoming a problem with the girl. And so I just hired somebody else to sing it for me. So I literally just, sent it over to the guy who mixed the track for me originally to get the new vocal in there. So that's kind of,
I see.
I can't do much in terms of like the arrangement part of it, but I could pull the guitars down in the verse so that the chorus feels bigger. I might be able to mute some of those, pieces. And I guess I was just wondering, the vocal, performance, like, is that working? Before I like sign off on all this stuff or, need to go back to the drawing board or whatever. I just was kind of looking for another set of ears as well, just to.
I guess I feel like it's a really strong song and I'm missing the impact of it 100%. And it's and I don't mind the vocal performance because I like that she's a little bit nonchalant about it. It doesn't have to be a dramatic experience. So, I don't mind that, but I just want to feel that chorus. I would start with pulling the guitars down and see if that like electric thing, if you pull that out, what's there space for to come out and like to start, does it leave space for me then to hear that chorus in a new way? Because it was super distracting and also doesn't give you like footing because it's got its own like rhythmic experience that's happening. And so I would start there and then see if something needs to be tweaked after that. I think that would help.
Okay. Do you like, there's also like, there's an acoustic part that kind of goes throughout the whole song that I think is really pretty.
I like it.
And that part I'll probably leave, but I know which part I know which instrument you're talking about in there. Yeah. Okay.
That's cool as a texture, but it feels really distracting and big. Now.
Maybe it needs to just come down or get muted in certain things. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot.
Cool. Yeah. I love that song. Goodness. Fate is the hunter. Inspiring. It like makes you want to I think it's inspiring for all of us on here because it keeps pushing how you show up in the songs we write. Let's see, who have I not? Sari, is that how you say it? Sari, are you here? I see you. Maybe it's not Sari. No. Yes. Okay, I'm going to move to somebody else for now. Maybe you just stepped away. I hope you get to Ava's song today. Oh, hi, Ashley. Let me see. Let's do it. Ava Brandt will be okay. This is your daughter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She's in class right now though, so I'm here.
Okay, cool. What a great mom.
I've had to unlearn all the biting my tongue that society taught me when I was a child. I've had to retreat to my imagination to realize that I much prefer to be wild. It took some time, but things are getting brighter now. I can see the clearing now, honey. You just gotta give a little, live a little, learn a little, we'll be okay. It'll be okay. Give a little, live a little, learn a little, we'll be okay. It'll be okay, we'll be okay. I
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. Ashley, your daughter's got a gorgeous voice. Love the production. I love how it builds. I love this hook. I think your hook's real super strong for sync. So on these feedback sessions, we're really looking at like the feedback's based around sync, like markers, and how can you make it a little bit more impactful and for the purposes of winning a sync, less than like the artistry or the you have free right to make however kind of music you want to make. So my feedback is based on that. I think in terms of that, I think your hook is very syncable, and to get to that point where somebody's gonna, get to the hook, I would probably shorten your intro, and then the intro is like so driving and moving, and then you get to a verse that everything, it kind of drops out, but it doesn't completely drop out into a place where you're just like left breathless. It's kind of like you're left, like you feel like, oh, everything just dropped out behind, like underneath me. So I would maybe shorten your intro and see if that helps in terms of sync. It took like 20 seconds to get to the song. Some people don't mind long intros, but if you have a minute to listen to a song, you have 600 songs you're listening to, you're gonna just like, probably not even a minute to listen, you're skipping through. I would shorten your intro for a little bit more impact, and then you're also not 20 minutes invested in this groove and then it drops out. But it's not even just that it, like I said, it drops out, but it kind of leaves you wanting. So I think if you have less of that, you're less invested. And then I think just that hook is really awesome, and I love how it grows, and I love how you have some instrumental parts that come in towards the end, and it just feels authentic and gorgeous, and her delivery is beautiful. So that would be like my biggest thing, just to get in the door as people are clicking through and they feel that impact. What I love is We'll Be Okay is it doesn't feel, it's platonic. It feels really open to interpretation, and it also feels incredibly sensitive and like authentically heartfelt. That what she's saying something that she really means, and that's at the end of the day what we really want to feel from the artist, so we can feel ourselves in that. So great job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Pretty. Let's see, wait, I have a few direct messages here. Let me see what's happening that I missed. Okay, yeah, I have songs in here for sure. I'm just checking against who's here, so let me mark that off. I have, Ron's up here. Let me get Ron in here, and Christine. And Sari, if you come back, let me know. Oh, sorry, my phone froze. It's me.
I'm here.
Sari.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi. That's
Hi.
okay. You're not the only one. It's all good.
I mean, no, I have an ink on it. Like, how many different ways do people say it? I get it, but still.
Yeah.
Now
no
I know.
Worries. No worries. Yeah.
Okay, I'll play yours.
Thank you.
Before we end
Appreciate
here
it.
today. Okay, we're gonna go into Ron's right now. I have this up.
That's what you are. You are. Try so hard, but you don't get far. Get far. You're priceless, you see. Darling, you hold the key. 'Cause you're a work of art. You're a shining star, lighting up the night. And even though you might feel like you're falling apart, just hold on and follow your heart. 'Cause you're a work of art. Avant-garde of art. You rise, falling apart.
Cool. All right, tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about this.
Thank you for listening.
Mhm.
It was a 24-hour turn kind of song because it was for a brief for there's a show called Sacrifice on BET Plus, but the brief was it's a couple walking through like an art gallery. So my friend Zach Hexum did the track. He's out in LA, and then I top lined it with the vocals.
Cool.
And so yeah, we were just trying to make it like, what would it sound like if you, and of course all the art references. So yeah, that was it. But it was like I said, it was done in 24 hours. So I'm like, whatever we
Amazing.
could do to make it better. Like there's a bunch of stuff already here, but so I just wanted to get some pointers on it. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think now that you have some time to kind of shape and shift it a little bit, I would think about where you would hear something like this. Like, I don't hear a ton of places where so for me, it was kind of like at this level the whole time. You have this track going underneath it, kind of feels loopy, kind of feels like it's like, and then there's like another weird thing that kind of like keeps repeating, which is like maybe once in a while is cool, but it's repeating through the whole thing. And I would want some more variation, first of all, in the track in terms of like shaping the song. So you're in a verse, you're in a pre, you're in the chorus, you come back to the verse, and not everything is kind of the same. And just there's some, it feels like loopy that I would love to hear like a little bit more. And then I think it needs kind of like a genre. To me, I'm not sure. To me, this feels kind of like 90s-ish, kind of R&B, kind of chill pop. But like, are you going for kind of like a dream pop vibe? Like
We don't really know.
modern?
We tried to like, we were thinking like The Weeknd, like that kind of reference, and kind of like what the guys with the robot head helmets.
Oh yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
80s synthy, like electronically and artsy again, you know,
Yeah.
for the
Daft Punk.
art gallery scene.
Oh,
So
no,
Daft
somebody
Punk,
else.
yeah.
Not, yeah. I was thinking somebody else actually, but yeah. I totally hear that. And I feel like you've got a little bit of work to hit that space. So you have like some things that are working, and then it's repeated through the whole thing. And there's some artistry that those two references that you bring in really bring to the track building that can help have some shape and some different parts to it. And like those parts go away and then new parts come in, and kind of really building out something that's, you have a little bit more time. Obviously, this is amazing for 24 hours, but now you have a little bit more time to really go back and listen to like, what does it sound like to have like The Weeknd vibe? You know, that's such a great reference for what would work modern wise for a license, and a great thing to shoot for Daft Punk. Like, how can we get it to be that angle a little bit more? So I think you've got some really good bones. I like your top line. I like the performance here. I think it's just the track that shapes it underneath, so that it tells me like, oh yeah, this is The Weeknd. You know, I didn't get that quite. Like I got like maybe, but also there were some other like 90s R&B things happening in there that I, wasn't quite sure what the reference was. So I'd just take a little bit more time to take that apart now that you can.
Quick question on that, because it was written for a brief, and like, you know, with your experience of this, when you do things like this, like how can you I mean, it's limited to what it talks about, right? Like work of art. So like, I'm trying to think of how to kill two birds with one stone. Like maybe change some of the lyrics so it can be more broader, you know, to be able to use in different situations. Or
yeah, I would look at the just because you're falling apart thing line in there and try to. So for me, I was thinking this was like a colors reference theme. So
Okay.
maybe if you start thinking about a little less specific with the work of art and more about like the colors, because colors comes up a lot. Colors is a cool theme. Colors can be interpreted a lot of different ways. So how can you kind of bring in the idea of colors? And maybe it's colors inclusivity, maybe it's colors and like the day color, there's so many ways you can take it to make it like a bright pop song or a darker vibey song, so you get to interpret that. But that's what I took away from it, was like that you were going for a colors lyrical theme. So maybe lean into that a little bit more.
Awesome. Thanks, Son. And it's cool to see you do this like on your own. Like it's because we get to hear more of you're doing awesome feedback, because it's usually you and John. So
well, we have to leave space for each other, and it's fun to do it on our own for sure.
It's
I mean,
great feedback, very
Thanks.
directional. So you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna do Carrie and
You're muted, Sonnet, sweetie.
I didn't say anything that was important. But anyway, I'm gonna do Carrie and then I'm gonna do Christine.
Reach, I feel 6 feet deep, drowning in my grief. Memories rolling down my cheeks. I need someone to reach. Reach out your hand, don't let go of me. Keep me safe and sound while I find my feet. I need to know I'm not alone. No, I don't wanna be so out of reach. I'm lost in the weeds. Help, reach out your hand. I wanna be. Keep me safe. My grief, memories rolling down, someone to reach. Reach out your hand, don't let go.
Cool. All right, tell us a little bit, Carrie.
Okay, so what about the evolution of the song? You want me to set it
Or
up?
just like where you're at with
Okay.
it. What kind of
Oh,
feedback you're looking for?
yeah. So, yeah, because I have a couple things with my co-writers that I would like to see in the song, and they're thinking it's perfect, and they want to pay the guy and have it done. So I thought, I'm kind of close to it, and so I got the email today. I signed up, I did all the things, and I was like, oh, great timing. I'll see what Sonnet thinks. I've always had respect for your feedback, so that would be super
Thanks.
helpful.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like there's a lot of potential here that isn't quite being met yet. It's like you hit that chorus, and I was certain for that first chorus it was going to go whoosh into something, but it didn't do anything going into that first chorus. Like, it doesn't even have to be big, but you have leaving something on the table there for us to recommit to your song as the listener. And so you're
Right.
thinking about, I'm telling a story. My song is helping tell somebody's story, and you don't want them to tune out. So and because you're using the word reach so much, it's even more important for you to re-emphasize why they need to stay here with me in this, because I've got something even more important to say. And so you're, like, this is in the conversation we would have, like, you're getting to the most important part. You get more, you have your body language changes, the tone of your voice, the speed in which you deliver. So I think it has to reflect that in your chorus. And I certainly heard the end of that verse 1 going don't into something, and there was not. It felt very like it did the opposite for me, because it was like, then you're hitting another note, but it doesn't even feel like it's really supported. So I would go back and look at how can I level up these choruses, and then from there, what do I need to shift around, mute, change the levels, maybe, to make sure those transitions are really smooth between the verse and the hooks. And maybe there's an edit point, maybe there's a making sure that is really strong. So I don't think you're quite done, because I feel like the song, the vocal, the songwriting, the the lyric lines. Like there's so much potential here, and you really want to hit max potential with the song. So you're not quite there, in my opinion.
Okay, I appreciate that. So you said that the lyric is not quite there. What was missing for you?
No. The lyric for me, I like it. It's just
Oh.
in the levels of supporting your song right now. To me, it's
Okay.
just like levels out, and if for a listener, like I want to be told this is an important part, like listen up. And also
Okay.
when the listener's expecting something and you give them something else, you want to give them something even better than they were expecting, you know? And so kind of going into the chorus, I think most might expect some sort of lift, some sort of experience that is shifting and changing. And you can give them something else, but you want it to be even better than they might imagine. So right now it just feels like it kind of sits here.
Okay, got you. Okay, I had the same feeling. Did you, like, if I was kind of thinking about like a dropped out chorus, like almost or almost a cappella at the end, like I felt like it just kind of ended and we hadn't really gone anywhere with the production levels. So would that, do you think that would be a consideration, assuming and after we've fixed all of this basic
I
stuff?
love dropped out,
Yeah.
where you can
Mhm.
really just like digest something on another level, but you have to give them all the other levels too. So yeah, I love that.
Okay, I really appreciate you taking the time for this and
Mhm.
listening to my song. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you popped in.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Have a great day.
You too. All right, we have Christine, but I also see Brittany on here. And okay, if you guys want to stick around, I'm gonna do as many as I can before we hit, like maybe in the next 10 minutes, we'll just go a little over.
I'm hot like sunshine, my color's so bright, radiant and rising, it's gonna be alright. They tried to hold me back, but I just knew who I am and what I can do. I beat the odds, I beat the odds, I beat the odds. Now I'm pushing through. Power is living true. Beat the odds, beat the odds, beat the odds. I beat the odds, I beat the odds, I beat the odds. Now I'm pushing through. I beat the odds, I beat the odds, I beat the odds. Now I'm pushing. I beat the odds. I beat the odds, I beat the odds, I beat the odds.
Cool. All right. Woo! I know we've heard this song before, so tell me how it's going, what you're feeling, what you're wondering about.
Thank you. Yes, we did submit this once before for some feedback. We did get some feedback. We've made some changes. We're hoping we're at the finish line. I think it was actually on the maybe list or the almost close list, but I'm not sure because I didn't hear it this morning. But anything to do with just the final push and then possibly what the best pitching angle might be.
So I think, there's something like subjective about music. So for me, the effect, like there's something about it cutting in the vocal. It cuts through the mix, it cuts through, but it also like wears out personally my ears. So after a while, it's sitting in that like kind of amplifier effect for a little too long. And I want, because it is kind of like you've got this cool groove going on, how can you have this cool groove, but it's sitting in like an electronic sound for most of the time? And like, there's a disconnect for me to feel emotionally connected to the song. So I love this hook. I love the lyrical line. Like, it's cool. Like, you're just like, I'm in, like, sign me up. But for me, that like right away kind of just puts me on alert. So how can you have that same cut through the noise kind of sound? And this also could be personal. Like, I know some people are okay with that sound. For me, I want to split the difference. I want a little bit more of an authentic voice in there too, like coming through. And you might have some in there, you know, I think you actually do, but I think you could do a little bit more so that you can really ground this song in something. That's what's like the biggest thing for me. I think production wise, you've got like the mix is just a little bit out in places where I want to hear the vocal. I think once that vocal effect is a little bit more in the mix, then I will be able to hear the rest of it. But like the bass comes out in different times. There's a like the way that I like the breakdown at the end. But I think the effect of the vocal will shift everything for that mix, so that then you can hear mix a little bit more, so that it really fits. And I would look at, I don't know, I'm sure you have references for this. So think about like A-Bing it, putting it over an ad. I don't know if you've muted an ad and put this over an ad. Like, how does the energy work for that ad, you know? So for me, that's like some, that's a really good telltale sign, you know. Is it right now? It's just like vocals, and I want to hear the whole thing come together in a really warm, impactful way. So yeah, I would look at your mix once you've kind of dialed in the vocal effect, because the mix is a little wonky in places too.
Okay. All right.
But I think you've got, like, the good news is that you've got all the pieces.
Yeah.
And
I
you've
like
got
that.
like an undeniable hook here. That's super
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah. So now it's just like, how do we get that to just sound as good as it is?
Thank you very much. It's good feedback, and I'll take it back to Julianne, who produced, and see if we can do a few more tweaks before we shut this down. The vocal was a hired singer.
I like the performance.
It's good, but I hear what you're saying. It gets a little grating, I think, it just keeps coming at you and coming at you and coming at you. And it's a little, I kind of get what you're saying on that. But I don't think.
But you might be able to soften that up. I you know, just with the effect on there, because it's got this, like, I've got my amplifier out for the whole thing sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is cool once in a while, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, Brittany. I mean, every time I hear that song, it's stuck in my head. You know, it's a good one.
You've already walked 1,000 miles, yet it feels like you're right where you began. When there's no map to chart your course, it's like betting on a losing horse. But something in you makes you wanna stay. Amidst all the rubble, amidst all the struggle, there's something beyond these walls. Just know it's not over. You're getting closer. Come too far now to fall. So keep going. Yeah, you never know, you might be so close. There's no denying that never trying's worse than almost. So take a deep breath and dust yourself off. Keep going. There's a million reasons to give up. You've been
Brittany, where are you with this song?
Oh, where am I? Okay, so this is a
Oh, it's
pretty
mixed
old
and
one.
mastered.
Yeah, it's a pretty old song. I wrote the most of it, like the gist of it, and then got some help from some people in class. And everyone I send it to really likes it, and I've pitched it to like everyone I know to pitch it to, but nobody's picked it up. So clearly something's missing, and I'm just not really sure what it is. Cinder also gave me some great feedback, but I haven't implemented really anything since we finished it.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful and the performance is pretty and the production. I think what just kept striking me is it feels wordy and it feels like it's just always wordy. And so when you hit the chorus, which is so lovely and so nice, it's like you're almost like we've kind of been at this space the whole time, and you have like I want some more shape to it. Like if it was my song, I would look at how can I have less words in my verse so that when I hit my chorus, it really has a little bit more punch and impact, so that there's less like, because the storytelling is so lovely, but it's also like just kind of consistent. So it doesn't give you a lot of space. Or look at the pre, like, can I give such a shift in the pre? Like maybe not the verse. I would look at both. Like if it was my song, I'd be like, where is there space in this song for me to give the ears another thing to listen to give the ears a break, and also like set them up for something new. So it might be in that pre that you could do it too, so that when you hit the chorus, it's like it opens up and it blooms, and you're missing that experience right now of it just like, oh, we've arrived, because it's just like you've arrived the whole time, which is great. It's really good. So you like arrive from the get-go, but like you kind of want to take people with you on a journey.
So it needs more like, I mean, maybe tension and release isn't quite right because you're saying it's like the song shape, but yeah, I see what you're saying, like more balance in the parts, so they're not just like chunk, like A, you know. Of course they're different, but you know, make it.
Yeah, but they just all feel wordy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, just a little bit more shape, and with that comes the tension and release, comes the like, oh, my ears like get this, and then they get this, and my heart feels this, and so just a little bit more so that you can really deliver that beautiful song.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's one I really believe in. So I'll
Gorgeous.
definitely take the time to like, it's weird because you spend so long on a song, you're just like, it's done, but then you're like, well, if it's not living anywhere, I want it to have a home. So I want it to be
It's such a hard thing. I know. You're like, really? Like keep going back to it, but
yeah, I think
otherwise
it's
it
worth it,
sits,
though.
you know? Yeah, right.
Yeah. And like I said, Cinder also gave me some good feedback, kind of alluding to the same thing. Like I think she said get rid of half the pre-chorus or something in some other suggestions. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to it.
Good. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's great, Georgia. I like that. Does it need more rhythm? Okay, I'm gonna do one last song. We're gonna do Katie, and then we're gonna call this a day. And I'll see you guys next week. Hi, Katie. It was fun to see you in real life.
Yes, it was. It's Kate, by the way.
Oh, Kate. Oops. What did I just do? Sorry, hold on. Press some new button.
There's a crack in the clouds, the sun's breaking through, coming out of the dark, rising out of the gloom, getting out of my head and into the light, ready to go, ready to fight. Here comes tomorrow, here comes tomorrow and the rest of my life. Look up, look out, dream big, dream bold, hold my head up high, bring it on, 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 bring
Okay, tell me about it.
I co-wrote this with Richard Stone from the UK, and we were. It wasn't for a specific brief, but there had been a bunch of sports music supervisors who were saying they wanted more overcoming songs, not just "We're All That," but you know, we've overcome something to get here. And so that's kind of what we were going for, some kind of, stadium anthemic, but with an overcoming message.
Cool. Is it done, or are you in the mix? Are you still
I
open
want
to
it to be
edits?
done. It's my production. I'm working on it.
Oh, nice.
So there are certain questions in my mind as to whether certain things work or don't work. But when you've listened to it a 1,000 times, you need other people to tell you what's working and not working.
Okay, I'm gonna screen share for a second and just because this is our last one, listen to something for a second. We're not.
There's a crack in the clouds, the sun's breaking through, coming out of the dark, rising out of the gloom, getting out of.
So from the get-go, for me, I would just say there's a crack in the clouds, nothing. Like the second half of every line feels so busy that by the time you've got "Here Comes Tomorrow," like I'm already full. And also it leaves more space for me to be like, I'm not buying the vocal. So if he could just deliver that first part, the second half, to me, I start to lose belief in him because it's like so much to deliver. He has to be so in it. I feel like he's in and out of the delivery in terms vocally. So I would love to hear just that first line, and then like it leaves you wanting more rather than over deliver, and then you're like underwhelmed. So I would maybe take that out.
Yeah, for me, the first verse is like the weakest part of the song, which is terrible because you need to buy in with the first verse.
Yeah, so I would give less to get more. And then
the question in my mind was, did I need to just get him to re-sing the first verse?
But I still think it's too wordy. So even if he does re-sing it with in mind, like with some edits, and then I want Bring It On just feels like, ooh, it should be like enormous, right? It should be huge. And that to me feels like it's still needing, like if you're going for stomp clap, like there's so much stomp clap out there, you've got to really, really deliver. And
so even at the end, it's not big enough, or just
I feel like that's where you want to maybe that's middle of the song. The end is good, but like I'm hearing, like I'm seeing everybody's head, like, yeah, it needs to be sooner, and everybody's kind of nodding like this, which is like a slow, it's like we want to hear like coming out on the field again, same exercise, get like a promo of a sporting team running out on the field, put that song under it. Does it feel like you're like, yeah, let's go? Or are you like, let's go? Like we want to be like, yeah, like we're going to do this. We've overcome this. So look at it all over a promo. It needs to be bigger. It needs to really hit, and like Bring It On feels like a slow stomp clap. And so how can you bring more energy to it so that it really feels like they're running out on that field and they're like, we are going to crush it because we have come through all of this. And so it's worth it to really get that for this, it has to be that for sports. It can't be less because sports are huge. They're big. And like, it can't be almost. So listen to or put it over a preview, a promo, so you can see like what it does. That tell everything that it needs for, and if you need to like co-produce it with somebody who can put in some really big drums there, like you've got this whole community to be like, who can take this to the next level? If you're like, I just need a break, like there's no harm in that. And maybe even, I like Ron's feedback here, maybe up the tempo even, that might help.
Well, if we cut out half the words in the verse, it'll be easier to up the tempo.
Yeah, so there you go. That might be
challenging to up the tempo with all those words in the verses, but if we
that might be your thing. Cut out the words, up the tempo, get your vocalists to really deliver on the words that are there consistently, Because there's sometimes where I believe it, and sometimes I feel like, it's like phoning it in a little bit. Not on,
Yeah,
like
I
not
made him
any
redo. I
offense,
actually
but
coached him through and made him redo like the second verse through to the end, but we didn't redo the first verse. And I'm like, the whole time I'm like, we need to redo that first verse. He's like,
yeah,
we
but
gotta
that's
build from
perfect.
somewhere. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you do.
but it's not there.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, I think that I think there's some, like, as a group, we've dialed it in. You up the tempo, get your vocalist to step in. I think he's got a great timbre to his voice. He's got the chops. It's like just really dialing in. I think if there's less words, he'll have more of an ability to really get in there. Sometimes when we're just like trying to get all the words out, it's hard to get the delivery in there. So it's a great song. And I think there's a lot of potential for it. Great writing.
Keep working on it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
For future, so I know,
Yeah.
I submitted 3 songs. Is it supposed to be just one per person? Or
Well, I'm trying to get through everybody that's on the call who's here live. So if you have more than 3, since we heard one, your songs are still like John will probably hit them on Thursday.
Thursday?
We're going off the same list. So
Okay.
I marked the one that I played, and
I
he'll
just-
go through the same list.
I just didn't want to cross any boundaries or.
Oh, no, you can, it's just that we won't probably get to it all in the same session, but then John will see those next week or on Thursday.
Oh, okay, cool.
Great job. Thanks for sticking with us, you guys, for the whole hour and 20. And I'll see you next week. I love the intimacy too. Bye.